I've asked the minister whether, in viewing back-to-work legislation as a last resort, she made an effort to negotiate an essential service protocol with the employees of Canada Post to ensure the delivery of checks and other services that she does not want to see disrupted. We really haven't heard a clear answer to that question, Mr. Speaker, and I think we need one in order to be able to evaluate whether or not this actually is the last resort. Now, Mr. Speaker, I've also asked the minister, in terms of this criterion of financial sustainability, how Canada Post's pension plan is going to be evaluated. And that's a critically important question in terms of whether we believe management's storyline that there's a crisis and a need for concessions, or whether we, in fact, recognize that if Canada Post employees were treated the same way as other federal public servants, there really would not be such a problem, and we really could negotiate with them on a much more positive basis. Mr. Speaker, I asked the minister whether there would be consideration for the possibility of postal banking as a way of improving the financial sustainability of Canada Post and also providing a needed service to Canadian communities, some of the same communities that the government has tried to invoke in justifying this legislation. All we really heard on that was that the arbitrator can't determine Canada Post's corporate model. Fair enough, but surely the government can, and it would be nice to have an answer to that question as well. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the last thing I asked was when the government would keep its promise to restore door-to-door mail delivery. The minister mentioned the fact that the government has put a moratorium on the further removal of door-to-door delivery, which is certainly a welcome development, but it's not enough, and it's certainly not what was talked about during the election campaign.